Let's begin indeed. Hello people, Jerry speaking. TheCrazyBunch's WebShow's number 114. Today we're doing not one, not two, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 depth topics today, and we're doing news report on YouTube, which is bad news for us. And of course, we gotta talk about some updates regarding the LJ piece on scope of what's gonna happen next to LJ scope on YouTube. And then recaps on what's gonna happen next to YouTube on, let's say, rumble.com/crazybunch. So there you go. And then as far as recaps on cons. So there you go on that. Let's talk about announcements, shall we? So we got for us. Let's talk about Alan G. Hazenfield. Born that name, Alan G. Jeffrey Hazenberg Field, something like that. He was a best known as an American businessman who was past chairman, CEO of Hasbro Toys. Born in Portsmouth, News, Rhode Island, November 16th, 1948, the Merrill Hazenfield and Sylvia Grace K. Hazenfield. He earned a bachelor's degree from University of Pennsylvania. Hasbro was founded in the family business of Hazen's grandfather and great-granduncle in Portsmouth, New Rhode Island in 1923. Al Hazenberg joined the firm in 1970, and at request by his brother Stephen K. Hazenberg Fields, like that, he was named Vice President of International Operations and Vice President of Marketing and Sales in 1972. In 1984, he was named President. Alan became CEO of Hazenberg from 1989 until after the death of Stephen, and remained in production until 2003. As chairman and chief executive, he served Hasbro's portfolio of companies and expanded international operations while attaching a signature brand of corporate access and design to the approval of lives of children. He studied the Detroit Industrial Hall of Fame in 1996. Hazenberg continued to serve as a chairman and associate with Hasbro through 2024. He died in London on July 8, 2025. He was 76 years old. The next step topic has to do with Paulette Gills. Born Paulette J. Gills, better known as the following. Paulette K. Gills, Paulette Gills Johnson. She was an American poet, memorist, and novelist. Born in 1943 of April 4th in Southern Missouri, she attended college at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and graduated in 1988 with major Romance languages. Gills moved to Toronto, Canada in 1969. She worked for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and especially held up in the native language FM radio stations with Russian people involved north of Ontario and Quebec for the next 10 years. In progress, she learned the Quebec language spoken by Harrisburg people in Ontario and as well, something like that. After marrying Jim Johnson, she moved to him in San Antonio, Texas in 1991, something like that. Anyway, after several years of travel, including living in Mexico, the couple settled in San Antonio in 1995. He was born. Bought a house in a historic district after the divorce in 2003. Gills lived on a 46-acre, 14.6 ha HA ranch near Utah, Texas, about 80 miles west, 628 kilometers west of San Antonio. She died of an aggressive illness in San Antonio Hospital on July 8th, 2025. 2025, something like that. Anyway, she was 82 years old. Her 26th novel, News of the World, was a finalist in the News National Book Award for Fiction. My next step topic has to be David Fred Bowie. Born David G. Gore Bowie. He was best television producer and writer. Born in Boston, Massachusetts. Hanson, Massachusetts. Anyway. On October 12, 1959, he attended Hamilton College, where a professor encouraged him to take up writing, something like that. He briefly did stand-up comedy, performing open mics in Boston comedy clubs. For better produce and write for television, programs including I'm Dying Up Here, Good Advice, Ellen, Just Before I Go, Comedy Nanny, Taxi 022, Massive, I'm not gonna say this word, sorry. 8 Simple Roles, Ruby Grace, Spirals, Desperate Housewives, Sully Susan, Siri, Dirt, Raising Hope, Save My, Chance, George Lopez, 5 Mrs. Bertrand, something like that, Bulldog Empire, Jeannie Davis Show, Bernie Mac Show. Spiral Grove was a series tells the Cave, producing and writing episodes in the show's first and second seasons. In 1999, he was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award in the category Best Acted Animated Program for his work on the television programs PJs. He was nominated for share with Steve Tompkins, Roy Wiltwire, Brian Grazer, Ron Howard, Tony Kranz, my dad, Eddie Murphy, Will Vilton, Happy Nelson, sorry, Tom Torben, Bill Frankenberger, some of that, Mary Shandle, David Ryan, Axelbach, my dad, Michael Price, Michael Wendell, Al Jean, Mike Rice, Les Bernstein, my dad, David R. Beck, Mark Greisbach. He was nominated twice in 2012 and 2013 for the WGA Award for his work on Boardwalk Empire. He was worked initially on television as a writer and producer, television both comedies and dramas across major networks and streaming networks and streaming platforms. He was best known for creating the Showtime series I'm Dying Up Here, producing shows such as Desperate Housewives, Boardwalk Empire, and Tulsa King. It's a lot of it that he's done back in the old days. It was personal life and death. He was married to Summer Lily Quiz for 2012 and had 2 children. He was diagnosed with clinically fatherless when he was a child. It was not expected to survive to adulthood. In the late 90s, he was underwent a double lung transplant. He died from cryosporis at the hospital in Anyway, on July 8th, 2025, he was 65 years old. The next step topic has to do with Bill Murray. Born that name, he was a British animator. He was born in Wellesley, Merseyside, England on August 29th, 1948. Okay? Like I said before, we'll get to that in one bit. Studied both painting and filmmaking, okay? Murray worked as a screenwriter and director of live action films until the late 80s, before becoming an animator. His animations have been described as social quotes, something like that. Not portrayed the dark side of human nature. Mostly social, political, religious values and humorous and at the times shocking ways, something like that. His visual style and distance is in use of prominent urban social features, visual backgrounds. Murray made over 30 animated films, many of which are in themed groupings and based on Hollywood genres. He's won many international awards for his work and conducted workshops for mentor young animators. He was born Murray on August 29, 1948, to an Irish father, Murray, who immigrated to Liverpool to work on the docks, and an English mother named Elizabeth, something like that. His education goes like this. Murray studied painting from Regensburg College, followed by film at the Royal Arts College of Art, and graduated in 1973. His 1982 drama film, Margaret Glasher Fragments, the biography won the British Film Institute Gerson Award. His indents, but MTV bands like this. He created many MTV's iconic during the 80s and 90s. Many of these include the much beloved Box of Lovers, in which 2 boxes, spiders include stick figures, stop fighting, embrace one another, wanting to find themselves, engulfed by the furious crowd of speech regulars baying for blood, something like that. Anyway, Cowboys, something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of it to read along the way. Anyways, move on. Murray produced the Cowboy series in 1981 with funding from Channel 4 and his Art Cultural. The series consists of 6 3-minute long films of 35mm, slim pickings, That's Nothing, Mur, High Noon, Performance of an Outrage. Short series brought Molly to the attention of the audience in the UK and internationally. Something like that. Anyway, Molly, experts made the glitches of the Western genre, mimics sarcophagus, net diet virus, diet, some of that. Shock up characters like the scientists wearing semi-magic wire horses, which so-forth draw using brush and black ink and an international primitive solid style to portray mild violence, with that. Green Riley using absurd black comedy. He commented on the creative approach, said, "The audience is filming to genres and glitches. I take advantage of that fact. The viewers are soon to discover the portion of the usual seams of things. It becomes success of their role. Music and films were provided by Alexander Barton from that and Keith Tibbett. The Ten Commandments. Molly created the Ten Commandments series between 1994 and 1996. The series contains 10 short 45mm films based on each of the Ten Commandments of Judeo and Christian tradition. Tall shot, nor adore false gods, something like that. Tall shot, not commit debauchery, something like that. Remember to keep holy the Sabbath day. Honor the tall father and tall mother. Tall shot, not kill. Tall shot, not commit adultery, something like that. Tall shot, not steal. Tall shot, not bear false witness. Tall shot, not commit thy neighbor's good. Tall shot, not covet the neighbor's wife, something like that. Anyway, the animation created uses brush and black eye ink, something like that, on white paper, and Molly's creating stereographic style. Employed black humor throughout. He commented on the series in 2006, said this: "I have a structure that could work within a set of ideas. I can interpret myself, something like that. Similarly, working on playing with narrative structures creates ways to rearrange elements to do my own thinking about and experience in the world. The series won the Jury Award, involved due, Carnage, and Special Award with Irma, something like that. The Chain was produced in 1998 for Channel 4. It was one of the 30 animated short films by 30 internationally acclaimed animators who presented a furry human rights animated project to highlight the furry articles in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The trial this dark satire refers to a charismatic chain reaction that follows the treatment of a child whose jaw is pulled away. The 10-minute long 35mm from film won the Jury Award, the College with that, International Short Film Festival, and the College Award for the World's Festival of Animated Films in Sawbreads with that. Seasons Greens. Molly's created Seasons Greens in 1999 for the animated projects with federal funding with the Channel 4 and the Alex Control. The 3-minute films mixed with live action and animated produced. And Greens card with New Millennium, something like that. Now, it's 1 to 3. The session's empty, I don't have to read. But anyway, more on. Next, the Christies. Molly created the Christies in series in 2006, anyway. For separate films. The series contains 12 short films. Introduction, Family Values, The Language of Love, Tracy's Dream, The House of Prayer, The Song of Buster, okay? Move on. The Confession, Natural Disaster, Mr. Yagmaro, Gary Challenger, Mr. Christie's, I'm not gonna say that, sorry, Manual, and The Day of the Earth Move. Molly produced the animated films on computer using a bottom merge 1.5 package. Series, won the Matt Mercury Film Works Prize for animated film feature in 2006. Rare work. Time of this dub, Molly was working on a trilogy based on the Christie family in Part 1. Goodbye, Mr. Christie was completed in 2011. Part 2 was Dead But Not Buried. Was completed in December 2012 and won first prize at the Iowa Anime Festival. 2013, he released Part 3, The Pain in the Pea. His short film, Endgame, won Grand Prix for the best short at the 2016 edition of World Festival and Animated Film Fest. Zabrig. Personal life and death, okay? Mari was married to filmmaker Vera Naber, and the children are director and screenwriter Daniel Molly, student Academy Award-winning nominated director Lucy Molly. She announced that Phil Molly has died on July 10th, 2025 via social media. He was basically 76 years old. Next step topic has to do with David Gergen. Born David Richard Gergen. He was an American political commentator and longtime presidential advisor who served during the administrations of Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, and Bill Clinton. He was later senior political analysis for CNN, a professional public service, and founding director of the Center for Public Leadership and the Harvard Kennedy School. Gergen was also the former editor-at-large of the U.S. News and World Report, contributor to CNN and Parade magazine. He was twice a member of the election coverage the team that won the Peabody Awards in 1988 with Neil Lehrer NewsHour, now it's New PBS NewsHour, which I grew up with at the time, and 2008 with CNN. Gergen joined the Nixon White House in 1971, staff assistant with the speechwriting team, became director of speechwriting 2 years later. He served as director of communications with both Ford and Reagan, as a senior advisor for clicking surgery with Ryan CRISPR. He graduated honors at Yale and Harvard Law School. He was awarded 27 honorary degrees. He was born in Durham, North Carolina, to John J. Gergen, the chairman of mathematics department at Duke University, from 1946, 7 to 1966, and Audrey Margaret Lombard. He was born on, let me check here, May 9th, 1942, something like that. Anyway, he was the youngest of 4 children. One of his brothers was Kenneth J. Gergen. He's a political and professor emeritus at Sophomore College in Sophomore, Pennsylvania. I'll be right back. Stand by. But folks, sorry about that. I had to check out the messages. Anyway, let's get back to it. Anyway, his education goes like this, okay? Gergen was educated at Durham High School, a former public high school in his hometown of Durham, North Carolina. There he educated in the school newspaper, High Rocket. After high school graduation, he went to Yale University, which he earned a BA degree in American Studies in 1963, and was a member of the Manuscript Society. At Yale, he was managing editor of the Yale Daily News, who was established at the time and including featured Senator Joe Berman, Stephen Benham, Robert G. Gladys on that, and Paul Sager. Gergen received an LLB degree from Harvard Law School in 1967 and married Anne Elizabeth Gergen, the native of London, England, the same year. His life and career began with this, okay? For 3 summers, okay? Gergen was an intern in the office of North Carolina Governor Terry Sanford, who became deeply involved in the civil rights efforts. Gergen was called his most satellite experience in public service. He served in the U.S. Navy for 3.5 years, and was sent to station to ship home ports in Japan. Gergen was well in this book in the time as a damage control officer repair ship USS Ajax. During the control damage, he turned out was the best possible preparation for my coming years in the White House. Political activity. Gergen began his political career in 1971 when he went to the work of Richard Nixon as a staff assistant in the office of the speechwriters headed by Brady Price, a group which included Pat Barhan, Ben Stein. Really? And William Shakespeare. Again, really? Okay. In 1973, he became the director. In 1974, Gerger took a brief hiatus from the White House to write speeches for Treasury Secretary William E. Simon. He also wrote in this book, for me, it's a great try for the Treasury team taught me all about the free markets and financial lines like that. Gerger returned to the White House in 1975 as Director of Communications for President Gerald Ford. And in 1980, Gerger was an advertiser for George H.W. Bush presidential campaign and went on to join Reagan White House in 1981. Began as a staff director, he eventually became Director of Communications. In 1993, Gerger returned to the White House, service similar to President Bill Clinton and Secretary of State Warren CRISPR. His journalism career began with this. Gerger was a senior political analyst at CNN and often appeared on Anderson Cooper 360 and Burnett Odd Front, something like that. Anyway, after his years in public service, Gerger worked as a political journalist, commentator, and editor. After leaving the White House in 1977, he worked as a freelance writer in 1978. He was the first managing editor of Public Opinion, magazine published by the American Enterprise Institute. From 1985 to 1986, he worked as editor of the U.S. News World Report, where he became editor-at-large after his service in the Clinton administration. There he was working with publisher Mark Zuckerman to achieve record gains in commissions of advertising. Gerger's career in television began in 1985 when he joined the McNeil Hour NewsHour, Friday night decision of politics. Where he remained a regular commentator for 5 years. And in addition to CNN, he was a frequent guest on NPR and CBS Face the Nations. He wrote for Parade magazine and published, in a way, for other publications, including the New York Times and New York Newsweek. Twice he was a member of the election coverage teams, which won Peabody Awards in 1988 for the McNeil Hour NewsHour and in 2008 with CNN. Wow. Actually, my career began with this. He taught at Duke University from 1995 to 1999. Then joined Harvard University's Bachelor in 1999. He was also a professor of public service at the Harvard Kennedy School, where he taught courses in leadership, public service, and U.S. politics. During election years, he taught something like that. A course in issues American elections with L.A. Carback. And in January 2014, he taught Harvard short-term course in New York City, titled Leadership in Atlantic City. At Harvard Kennedy School, he served as the co-director at the Kennedy School Center of the Public Leadership, which speaks to enhance leadership teaching and research. Kennedy helps them to provide with scholarships to 100 fellows a year, preparing them to serve as leaders for the common good. Gerger served as the eventual Elizabeth. Anyway, Kennedy distinguished visiting professional leadership. Are you seriously kidding me? Anyways, I was a fellow at the Harvard University Institute of Politics in 1984, okay? I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to make sense. Sorry. Anyways, books. Okay, his book's career began with this. Anyways, move on. Next, Gerger's offered the New York Times bestseller book for I Was the Power, Institute of Leadership, Nixon and Clinton, published in 2000. The book recounts his time in Nixon, Ford, Reagan, and Clinton administrations. Gerger argued that as the 21st century began, the success in the United States, the country would depend heavily upon the success of the new generation in power. Drawing upon his many experience in the White House, he often borrow elements that feature future leaders that must deposit in mastery, essential compassion, compelling purpose, growing the moral values, a passion to pursue from that, ability to work within the system, assure, quick, start, strong, personal advisors, and a passion with that inspire others to carry them on the mission. Gertie's second book, Heart Touch the Fire, Touch the Fire, something like that. How Our Great Leaders Are Made was published in 2022. And then these are the books as follows. Personal Life and Death, okay? We're not going to go with the award system. Anyway, Gergen and Elizabeth Gergen, a family therapist, married in 1967, they lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and had 2 children and 5 grandchildren. The son Christopher, and Victoria, North Carolina. An author and member of the Duke University faculty. The daughter Catherine is the family doctor, who worked on the underserved population at Boston Medical Center, Boston. In December 2024, Catherine revealed that Gergen has a Lewy body dementia. He died in a retirement home in Lexington, Massachusetts on July 10th, 2025. He was 83 years old. My next step talking has to do with Donald Rose, born Donald Carter Rose. He was an English supercentenarian who was an oldest living World War II veteran who was having to serve as a Queen's Royal Regiment West serving as a sniper. Born on Westcott, Surrey, England on Christmas Eve 1914. He married Janet Rawson in Surrey, England October 1946. The only child, son David, was born in January 1949. He was widowed on February 2001 after 54 years of marriage. On his 110th birthday, on Christmas Eve 2044, I'll be both saying happy birthday to you to him via video call. He also received a birthday card from Buckingham Palace. He appeared on the One Show 2025 VE Day special. And on May 5th of 2025. On May 30th, 2025, he was given the freedom of hours wish. The honor was presented him to Eric Atkinson, the mayor of Arawash. He died on Caribou Care Home in Exeter, Berkshire, England. On July 11th, 2025, he was 100 years and 199 days old. Wow. That was like, wow. Okay. The next step topic has with Samuel Abbott. Born that name, he was an American sports journalist and author who was covered personality coverings for 31 years, professional cycling anyway, for 31 years. Anyways, publishing articles in the New York Times and International Herald Tribune, among others. He devoted much of the psychological careers of English-speaking writers, especially Lance Armstrong and Grace Lamont. Born in 1944, he was best known for writing 10 books on professional cycling. Okay? And we're going in high gear, something like that. The world of professional basketball riding, something like that. Remind the incredible side back in the American hero, the acclaimed breakaway on the road was the Tour de France. According to the Bell Press, he was the only American who had been awarded the medal of the Tour de France for distinguished service in race, like that. In 1971, while working at the New York Times, helped edit the President papers. He lived in the suburb of Paris after his retirement. He was a graduate of Brown University. His death was announced on July 11, 2025. He was 90 or 91 years old. And my last step topic has with Dave Cousins. Born David Joseph Cousins. Oh, that's my middle name. Wow. David Joseph Hutchinson. Anyway, I misspoke. Anyway. He was an American English musician who was a leader, singer, mostly active songwriter of Straubs from 1987 until his recent death. Wow. His cousin was a founding member of Straubs, which started out of Strawberry Hill Boys, playing bluegrass music, then moved out to folk rock, and professional progressive rock. He also formed a Hazard duo with Straubs guitarist Brian Bromby, and as Straubs with Bromby until August 2024. 2004, something like that. Dave Lambert and Chaz Clark from September 2004. He was born in Roswell with Middlesex on January 7, 1940. He grew up in Griswick. In the 1970s, returned to live there. Wow, okay. Okay, makes sense anyway. Rehearsed with Griswick's Machine Arms Club. He had a degree in Civics and Mathematics from the University of Manchester, and also followed a career in radio. But he is a producer of Denmark's radio 1969-1979. Was programming control for Radio Cheese in 1980 and 1982, and was managing director of Denver Air from Denver 1982-1990. 91 hours. Cousin was charged with St. Davis Research. Anyway, and was instrumental in many successful franchise expansion business venues and volume radio stations, local radio station UK. Stereo stations such as Dames Radio, Kings Upon Fames, Radio City Pressmouth, and XFM in London. He ran Richmond Media Limited, an independent record and publishing company, something like that, until the company's catalog was sold to Cherry Red Limited, something like that. Anyway, Cuz once toured North America and Europe with Ugly Swabs for that. Some months earlier, every year. In February 2012, a new venture was with producer Chris Swagwise, I might pronounce his last name, sorry, was announced. The Dark Lord Records label. The first release was by band Spit Like This on May 21st. In 2014, Cousin Autobiography, Exercising Ghosts, Swabs, and Other Lives was published by Witchwood Media Limited, something like that. In December 2021, he announced it was withdrawn from live performance for health reasons. We played off one off Cherry Gay, the Boston Room in the George IV pub on Twiswick High Road. In November 2022, the event was an aid on the John Welf Medical Trust, in which Cousin was a trustee to support his joint project with Safe Hands, to provide water tanks and remote parts in Africa. Project being carried out in conjunction with the University of Leicester and Marksville University in Yorkshire. The University of Leicester awarded Cousins an honorary Doctor of Music degree January 23rd, 2023. August 11th, 2023, Dave Cousins Straubs gave their final live show and farewell gig on Fair Points Quality Convention. Special appearances. In 1980, Cousins made a guest appearance on Through the Night. The debut album was by British heavy metal group Def Leppard. Wow. And Cousins' speaking voice can be heard in the began when the well song came doubly down. He signed the melody of the tale of that serves to be the track's intro. He was married 3 times. In 2003, he moved with his first wife, Gerald, when Thomason in London, dead and deal with Kent. They have to be near a house in France. He lived in Saturday near Folkestone in Kent. He faced a number of health issues, including a major cancer operation, stent replacement, and failed knee replacement. He died at the Prussian Hospital in Bury today. He was 85 years old. Now let's do a more such press regards to not 1, not 2, but 8 depth topics right now. Thank you. Recipes is 8 people. Now, we got another topic to share, news report to share. That is something very important, okay? Now, this is something disaster-wise and to share, and that is, of course, from YouTube. And this is a share. It's difficult for us YouTubers like me and I want to talk about, okay? YouTube takes on the AI spam endemic. Starting July 15th, which is Tuesday, the platform will tighten its rules to stop low-effort, autographed videos from cashing in. This is stupid, I know. Now, the bar is being raised on YouTube, and honestly, it's about time. AI spam has made noise, become a bit of a plodge. People have fed up with mass-produced content with very monotone voices, recycled templates, solid, still images. The steam and the flood of Android garbage, bland, very human-sounding voice content. Google's now tying into the walls of publishing pottery starting on July 15th. This move will make it pretty much impossible to meet these channels. And probably their so-called creations is not, at least not good for Google, something like that. This isn't about censoring React videos. Good, because I react to videos all the time, unfortunately, or clip combinations. And that's a good thing, because I don't want to make it worse. Those formats are staying put. Okay, that is a good thing, because I want to make this more that's more sense to me. Okay, what YouTube is targeting is what worse of a worse. AI narrated spam over generated visuals. Good. To mention Steve, Renai Ritchie describes the changes as major adjustments, but the goal is truly to improve the user experience in a big way. Now, this is a bomb fall, because I want to make AI videos not just on YouTube, but also on Rumble. But this is a flaw. I want to make it just voices, that was it, not some stuff like that. That's not AI. That's just BS. Anyway, the update is giving YouTube more power to clean up the heaps of the bullet for AI content, which are made way too much. In the long run, you still hope restoring a bit of creativity to the platform. All in all, it's a small step in the right direction. That's if you're sick of all the AI spam on YouTube, what do you think of the platform cracking down to it? Now, it's seen here on the video. I'm not gonna watch it, so you all think about it for yourself. It was uploaded by this news report called Game Reactor, so that's just me. That's the news for the day, and that's just it, okay? Now, one more news report I want to talk about. It has to do with Savannah Comic-Con, okay? That happened earlier this weekend, okay? I went to meet Debbie Berry in person. If you haven't check out the Elgin Club Vlogs episode, go check it out on YouTube. You won't miss it, okay? I had a great time, okay? I went to meet up with Debbie Berry in person. It was a great experience, by the way. And it was a great experience, by the way. So, yeah, it was a great time. So, there you go. So, after I met Debbie Berry in person, I had a great experience to meet up with. I went to get some Funko Pops and everything. Met up with a store called Miles Funky Collectibles, which I got Funko Pops, by the way. I love Miles, by the way, to death. Love you, Miles. Mwah. And, of course, got some goodies after this is over. Like, Debbie Berry. Anyway, that's all I got to do today. Just got to get ready to go home and things like that. But that's all me. So, but that's what I'm going to do. And what's the future hold for LGBM, for AI? So, what I'm going to do right now, that's the last topic for this episode. And that is, of course, put it on Rumble, really. That's what I'm going to say. But anyways, that's all the news for today. And that was TheCrazyBunch's web show episode number 114. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. Next going to be a brand new episode of TheCrazyBunch's web show episode number 115, which is going to be about the day after, just 2 days after the wedding for Elizabeth Hunter. If they watch us now, I'm going there Friday. Be look out for it. It's going to be a huge week for me. And I'm looking forward to seeing them on Friday. And this will be 2 days after that. It's going to be happening. So, and that episode is going to be a Sunday after that thing. So, be look out for it. It's going to be a huge thing. So, next time, so John's Bunch, baby. Go to TheCrazyBunch web show episodes. Going to be soon. Say out. See ya.